Hey, I just wanted to do a real quick market recap here for the previous week. So we were seeing a lot of strength in Ethereum, which definitely is expected. They all made pretty similar structure, except Bitcoin's kind of dragging ass. We'll check Litecoin too. I think that's dragging ass too. So take that as a 1, 2, 3 wave and start going up. So that's your first impulse of this motive run, and after that you go sideways. Expect some more up. Let me change this back to white real quick. Is better. All right. Let's see. So we're starting to get some bearish divergence. Isn't confirmed because it can still pull back like that, push up. So if that pulls back like this, and then we get another peak and it's lower than this one, I'll definitely be expecting a bigger move down to possibly this trend line or even lower. That's an unknown part of trading. You don't know how high or how low something can go, but the structures and the patterns will tell you where it's going. So two different things I'm looking for on Ethereum right now, and this will kind of fuel your alt pairs that you have, or with Bitcoin, we'll take a look at that to fuel your alt pairs if you're looking at against Bitcoin. Um, so either a pullback like that, or we can get something deeper, pull back like that, give you another down, and it could, let me get a horizontal ray here. If it stops around somewhere like here, and then gives you a move up, pulls back, I would expect that to go up from there, making a 1, 2, 3 wave structure before going back up. Now, if we break through here, come down to break through here, oops, break through here, correct, break again, pull back, I'd expect more down at that point. Only if something like this happens. Oops. Only if you get some type of correction in there. A bigger correction compared to this one. When it breaks through that, it would be a little one small three wave. All right, Bitcoin. So recap on Ethereum. Basically, I'm looking for possibly short-term downside that could enter in a little bit more medium-term downside. And if it breaks through this trend line and gives you another flag like that, hopefully our alts will be doing great at that time, and Ethereum would be going down. But that's still a little far in the future. Those are just most likely what I'm thinking right now is it'll turn after breaking through this horizontal rate somewhere. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is more upside right now in the short term. So when I'm marking a trend line for correction waves, I always try and have at least two peaks that I can do. So two peaks here, and then two, I guess, reverse peaks, or you can call them whatever you want to call them, but two lows inside of a sideways structure. So Bitcoin, I still think at this point we might keep going up, but there's two different ways I look at that. So I'm taking this as the first move up in this motive cycle. So I'll show you where the last motive cycle started, basically right here. So this is where your last motive cycle started, and now we're in a corrective cycle, and eventually again we should have a motive cycle. Oops. So let's scroll back in. So I'm still looking at this as your first move up, your first impulse in a motorcycle, and we're starting to correct within that. So I'll get confirmation on that probably within the next week. So this looks like it's going to push up a little short term here, maybe give you another pullback, pullback. Now breaking out of this top and then pulling back like this would, I would expect it to go and break the $20,000 mark. Now, one more thing that it could do, if getting close to this trend line or breaking it slightly and then reversing and then giving you a pullback, I could see it coming down more to, at a minimum, break that low, the 10,397 low according to Coinbase. Oops, do that. So I'd expect it to come and break this low And after doing that, if that's the way it happens, so that would make a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. If that happens, I would want to see this move up plus a pullback to have faith that it's going to go up from here. Now, if I see the opposite of that, we have a move down, if that happens, and we have a pullback like this, then I would expect more downside. And who knows how low it can go, who knows how high it can go. All you know is that it'll either go up or down, and you can minimize your risk that way. All right, Litecoin too, we'll just do that one real quick. So it kind of looks like the same thing. I think this is your move up, and we're starting to go sideways for more upside eventually. So this could be a 1, 2, 3 wave structure and go, or it can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. Oops, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure before it goes. If that's the case, then this would most likely take the form of some type of triangle, which it doesn't have to do. It could just be a converging or contracting flat, and then start to go up from here. Let's look at some of the alts. I'm going to only look at a few alts, the ones that I think have a pretty good interesting opportunities right now. Power Ledger, I think, is definitely going to be a long-term hold, and the structure is also telling me that it's making a nice, what it looks like so far, a nice structure to go up. So this looks like a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, possibly a 1. Maybe it gives us another short-term wave up, 3 to complete a 1, 2, 3 wave in the middle there before it goes down again. And then from here it'll tell us. So if it stops shy of breaking this or just touches it and then starts to go up, it could be a triangle. Or if it stops, breaks this low, let's say it breaks this low slightly, and then starts to go up, it could be a flat. So if it touches low or comes shy of breaking it, I would expect it to be a triangle at that point, but it could also be a three-wave correction before it goes up. But it's just fitting the triangles. I'll draw it real quick too for you. It's just kind of fitting the triangle's price action. So in a triangle, you'll have a move up, and you'll have a 5 waves, but they consist of 3 subwaves. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before it goes, and it'll take the form of a triangle. So either go up from here, so getting back up close to this top and pulling back like this should confirm that it's going to go up again. Or comes to the top of the trend line and it reverses, gives you a move like that, and then it comes down again. That would be a signal that it'll go back and down. Basically, every time Power Ledger comes to this low, I'm going to start accumulating more. The first entry was around here, bought another here, and I bought, I think it was like around this area somewhere. So I am, certain positions I'm in drawdown right now, but I think I'm just about breaking even because I had the positions from a little bit lower. But I'm going to go in a drawdown completely once this comes back to the trend line, which I'm not worried about. Stop loss is at 0. Let's go to Cardano real quick because this one's very interesting. I'm probably most likely going to reduce a lot of my exposure on Cardano. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be a 5-wave structure, and now we're making the bigger ABC. So what I'd want to see for me to get out of this position, I'm not going to remove completely all of it, but I'll really reduce a lot of the size that I have in it. If this comes back up again, like that, breaks this top, and then starts to stall out, maybe get divergence on a smaller time frame. Let me kind of zoom in for you real quick. Oh, there we go. If this, let's see, so you got 1, 2, 3. If this makes a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. At this point, after breaking that top, that's kind of where I'm going to decide to reduce a lot of my position, or potentially keep it open. And if I'm going to keep it open, and that doesn't look like what's going to happen, but if I'm going to keep it open, it's going to have to come out to here, pull back nicely, and then give me another move up. And then I'll keep the position. Like I said, I'm not going to remove all of it because I did get in pretty early on Cardano, but I will remove a lot. Because there's some other altcoin opportunities that I'm looking at that look kind of good, and IOTA is one of them. Let's look at the bigger structure. So IOTA has a nice move up, pull back. So they can pull back pretty deep before they go. So let's give you a 1, 2, 3 before it started going. So it broke out. Let me remove that. Deep pullback, and then it went back here. Something like this I wouldn't want to trade, because it just doesn't make any sense. It's still a three-wave structure, but you have a very big expansion on the C wave. Then you're coming back up. Now this is kind of getting messy, but I want to show you a Cardano too compared to this because you might notice something. So let's go down to maybe a 1 hour. IOTA. So we got a small move up, and now we're starting to go flat compared to. So we're flat compared to this smaller move, and this bigger move. This could turn out a few different ways. So it could be the one that starts to take off, and that is what I'm looking for, or maybe it'll come back down to here, give you another wave up, and then this would make a structure, still corrective structure, that could come back down and come back up before it goes down. So either that way, but as of right now in the short term, it does look like a buy setup is forming, and IOTA kind of seems promising. I guess they don't really have a working product yet, but hell, how many cryptos have a working product? Not very many. Let's look at Ripple. Ripple I'm planning on removing pretty soon too. So Ripple against Ethereum and Bitcoin look a little different compared to the US dollar. The US dollar Bitcoin still looks like it's going to, I'm sorry, Ripple looks like it's going to break out of here, give you a pullback, and then break this all-time high again around maybe 336. The Ethereum chart though looks a little bit different. So this is starting to look like a 1, 2, 3, 1, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. Maybe it gives you another up like that, and then this would make a nice structure for it to go down. I might take profit on Ripple to US dollar if it breaks that $3 mark. If it does, 330 mark, if it does that, I would expect this to play a trick on me and continue to go up, but I guess that will depend on Ethereum strength over the next couple weeks. Stellar, same kind of structure as, let's zoom out real quick. Same kind of structure as Ripple for the most part. So you have, you're trending upwards. Now that you got a pretty strong move down after, pretty explosive move over the last, couple months. So I would expect this, if it comes back down here, gives you something like that. Like again, it would be, they're all making similar structures. It'd be something like this, which is a three-wave flat, and then I would expect it to come down more. So where I would, expect it to go up from here is, let's say it comes down and breaks this low, and then gives you a smaller move up and a flag, then that would be a good buy setup, but it could still, this could be an expanded flat where you have a 1, 2, breaks the low, comes up, breaks the top, and then goes down. It's just part of trading, so a lot of times you'll be right, a lot of times you'll be wrong. Coin, very similar. You have a good trend up for the last month. I think that's almost 1,000%, give or take. Close. And we're coming down. Now, Coin, this would be nice. We're starting to get divergence right here. Something like this would be nice is if you get like another move up, another move down, another move up, another move down, but you start to see a curve, the price action curve, like it did here, where you keep going down. It doesn't have to be as big of a scale as this, because this is from, it was about a half a year. It doesn't have to be as big as that, but if you see the price action start to curve, it's a very good indication that it's going to start going back up. Status, very similar. So basically, if it does something like this, I'd be looking to reduce the position there. Civic, looks like it's going to come down to break the low again. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe it comes down here to break the low before it starts going into trend mode again. EOS has had an interesting opportunity too. So it just keeps dragging ass down. And this looks like a lot of charts too that we've seen. That's why I'm not completely saying I'm taking profit yet. Because you see, it just comes down and then boom, starts to give you that move. And I bet, let's look at a lower time frame. Move up, correction, starts going, this would be a better buy setup. Buying into this can be sketchy sometimes. Buying into that, typically if you're looking at a shorter term trade, then that's the better one to buy into, or something like this. And that's only for shorter term trades, which I don't really recommend on Ripple that much, or I'm sorry, on crypto that much. Let's look at a few others and then I'll end the video. Simple token is coming out of this trend here, which I'm still in simple token. I don't think this one isn't looking so much downside just yet, but one thing about crypto is you never know. So I'm going to draw this trend line like this and expect a move to break out of this again and make another all-time high. Just I don't know when. Maybe next week. Maybe it does something like this next week. And in that event, I would look for another down and then possibly resuming the trend. Yeah, we can get rid of this fib too. Actually, let's bring the fib down more because this is starting a bigger correction, it looks like. Request network, Quant7, and then we'll look at a few more. Alright, this is coming down quite a bit. It's a nice move up. Maybe this one will start going. That would be nice for me. So I'm holding this and I'm in a losing position right now. But this had a nice strong trend going up and now it's starting to pull back and we're getting divergence right here, so that's a good sign. And that's a pretty big move up so far. Sometimes when you're drawing a trend line from here to there, you'll get the price action will kind of jumble up with it, so then you can try your trend from the correction where it's starting, because this could be a corrective pattern right now, or it could start the trend again. So maybe it gives you something like that, then it starts going. When it comes to this top, this is the point where I'd be looking for a pullback like this and go, or a reversal flag and then to go back down. Quant pretty similar. We might see some type of bounce right now because this could be a 1, 2, 3, and then it starts to go. Maybe we make one more down, tagging the trend line, breaking through the trend line a little bit before reverse. But again, we're starting to see divergence on a lot of the alt charts, which is a good thing to see. It's showing you the momentum on the downside is running out, where you have a lower low, higher low. Okay, just a few more. I think Bobby's been. Oh, Bobby hasn't been killing it. Okay, so Wabi's pretty much breaking out of this trend here. See, this is a divergence bearish though. So you have higher high, or higher high, higher high, higher high, lower high, lower high. And you don't have any bearish divergence yet. This last pulse down isn't not really showing any signs of momentum slowing down. So if this comes up like that, I'd be looking for more down. And these rays are irrelevant at this point. What I could see happening is this having an expansion on the B wave. So this could be a one real messy B wave, come down for another one before going. So that's a possibility. So this line is kind of where you're going to want to look to start getting in, unless it comes down maybe about halfway, gives you a move up, pull back, and take the trade up. Line kind of same thing. So it came down, tagged the trend line, started to move up right now. This can, honestly, it can go either way, just like all the others. But the minimum I would need it to see to consider this a expanded flat is to at least break this low or tag it, which it did. So if it breaks out, pulls back, and then gives you that pullback, then I'd be looking for that to keep going up, and I would keep that position. Let's look at Verge and then Tron, and I think that'll be it. So Verge, let's see if we got divergence going on in this bad bitch, and we do. So we have lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So eventually I want to see it go up right now, but eventually I'd like to see it make a move up, pull back, and then this should break out of this trend here to go up. And Tron. Tron's taking a fucking beating. That's for sure right now. So Tron's similar to like Cardano and Status, Siacoin. Basically, one, two. This comes up like so, and then gives you a sharp move down plus a little flag. Then I'd expect it to continue going down. Or maybe it reverses like I showed you in the other examples. If it happens, if it comes up, gives you a flag, breaks out, gives you another flag, then it'll keep trending, and at that point you can, once you have a defined trend, you can, at least a couple different corrections, you can draw your trend line and then track it to go up. I guess we'll do Elf because I'm fucking taking a beating on this one too. So this is another one like Lend and a few others had the same pattern where it could potentially be a 1, 2, 3 to go back up, but we'll see in due time. All right, peace.